Hi, I'm Fred Marschak, and I'll be your instructor for the online astronomy course Earth 101. And we'll be doing some of these videos throughout the semester. They're new this year. They aren't perfect, but we'll make everything work as we go along. If you have any suggestions or comments, please get back to me via email and let me know how they're working for you. The course is introductory astronomy, so we have the word astro. That refers to things up in the sky. That refers to all those objects, stars, nebulae, our Milky Way, our entire galaxy now, our universe. But back in the old days, it just was stuff that was up in the sky. It could even include clouds. What do we use for the ending of this word? Well, let's use a word that means study of. That would be a useful word, like when you study life sciences, it would be biology, or sciences, geology. So we'll stick that on the end of it and we come up with astrology. Well, that isn't going to work. That word was taken long before astronomers came along. And of course, this is the idea of using the position of the planets among the stars for predicting horoscopes and things like that. We'll see as we go along how astrology sizes up with science. But astrology is not a good term, so what do we have left? Well, we're going to actually use the term astronomy. We'll get rid of the astrology and we'll use the word astronomy. It's not as good a word, but it'll do. It means actually technically naming the things that are up in the sky. So here's a prof sitting at his desk, and here's some students who are asked between astronomy and astrology, and he thinks for a couple of seconds and comes up with, of course, a correct answer. And that correct answer has to do with the language of science. The language of science is math. And so he simply answers to them. The difference between these two is lots and lots of math, and you see what he ends up with there. That's not what we want to do here. We're not going to speak the language very much. Yes, there'll be some numbers to look at. Yes, there'll be some formulas to look at, but I will never ask you to do any problems with them as far as writing them down and actually doing a lot of rigorous calculations. That's done in an astrophysics class. So what's this science or any other science about? It's making observations. And from these observations we have explanations or theories or ideas of why those observations are the way they are. Now, if they're correct, we should be able to make accurate predictions. And then, of course, we can make more observations, come up and refine our explanations. So you'll see a lot going on this semester between observations and. But here's the difference between astronomy and astrology. Astrology can make observations and explanations, but the predictions are not correct. In other words, other people can't make the same predictions that one astrologer does. In other words, you cannot reinforce the idea of these observations and the theories by making a legitimate prediction. Well, what do these people do? Well, you can see that it's employment for thousands of astrologers, and a lot of people believe in astrology, and it's fun. Just don't call it a science. This is the way most of us go through our lives. We're very egocentric. Everything revolves around us. Not only the sun, moon, and planets, but our lives are special, our friendships are special, and we're sort of the center of everything most of the time. Well, we're going to take you out of that realm a little bit and expand your universe. And I have to give you this warning, I think, that it may be hazardous to your sense of self-importance. So some of these things we'll be talking about will take you way beyond our little view of how things are here on the surface of the Earth. This is not to take the place of family and friends, but just to broaden your horizon a little bit. This is a Hubble Space Telescope view of a bunch of galaxies. Each of these are really a city of stars, and there is only one single star on this image. It's to the center left there at the bottom of that yellow galaxy. Most of these contain hundreds of billions of stars, and we'll be learning about those as we go along. How serious do we want you to be? You don't have to do this for extra credit, but we do want you to take the course seriously. We're going to be losing a lot of you right at the beginning because an online course isn't for you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about your choices, but if you have a choice between this course and a face-to-face, always take the face-to-face course. These online courses are not for everyone. I have to remind you in this planetarium picture that we do have a lab with this course. It's not required. It is a separate one-unit course. And you may take this course anytime in your academic life. I've had people come back after 7 or 8 years because they needed a 4-unit science lab. Well, I have to ask this question. Are you here? And I guess I'm asking it in this way. Unless you have a very specific reason to be here, you should probably be in a face-to-face class. If you're traveling, if you live in Chile, if you live in Japan, if you are on the road, if you work 80 hours a week, if you're a single mom or a single dad, then you have a reason to take this course. Otherwise, don't. Well, let's assume you're planning to stay. How do you actually navigate around this course? Well, I made it as easy as possible. It's not in Vista, it's not in WebCT. So you'll simply go to astroprof.com on the web. You'll choose 101W, that's in the yellow stars, one of the yellow stars. That's a name I'll use for your class. That's a name you'll use for this class, web standing for W. And your syllabus is on the left edge, beginning with the schedule or the reading schedule or the assignment schedule. So there on that area on the left will be everything that you need that a syllabus usually has in it. If you want to know when the next exam is, if you want to know how to make up an exam, if you want to know about extra credit, if you want to see how the course will be graded, if you want to know what the textbook is, all that is in the syllabus. And I encourage you to look at each one of those very, very carefully. Also on that page are the current week's assignments. They're above the Mickey Mouse picture. This week and next week there'll be quite a few of them because I'll be reminding you with special announcements about things to get done. But you'll see everything that is on there. In particular, I want you to note that there's an Astro Journal assignment. You're going to be drawing or making a sketch of something. I'm no artist. I'm just asking you to make a sketch. I'm also asking you to follow directions. Very, very important. There'll be a quiz. Sometimes it'll be like a double quiz like the first one is. And we're also going to include a discussion. That's where you answer. Sometimes you'll make a contribution to a list. Sometimes you will write a sentence or two. Sometimes it'll be a paragraph. Sometimes it'll be a short essay. There'll be an open discussion. That's where you talk to each other. Maybe ask for some help with something. Don't ask quiz questions there, but you can ask for some help. There'll be a checklist to make sure you get everything accomplished. That's always good to look at when you think you're finished. And then finally, we're adding this year a weekly video. I'm going to give you sort of a brief, same kind of thing I would give in lecture to a face-to-face class. It'll be somewhat abbreviated, it'll be right to the point, but you'll be able to actually hear me, which isn't the important part, but you'll be able to actually see some of the things that I talk about in class. So I think that'll be very, very useful for you. There are several things under Mickey's picture. Be sure to check those out. It will tell you how to get to the bulletin board, how to get to the discussion board. They're the same thing. It will tell you if you are around City College where there are computers you can use. It'll tell you how to get help at the bottom under the Mickey Mouse picture. All the information I'm going over in this short little video will be in an email that I'll send you the first day of classes. If this is the first week and you haven't received it, please give me a heads up by emailing me at astroprof@cox.net. astroprof@cox.net. You can use the school address, but the astroprof@cox.net is the one I'd prefer you to use. So as we go along on our journey through this course, if you need to move into the regular classes, they're doing about the same thing at about the same time for 3 of the instructors, and we'd be glad to have you in one of those classes if we can move you there very, very easily. Thank you for your time and enjoy the course.